We usually look at the calendar and just see a bunch of standard, completely ordinary days. But what if we took just one, literally one seemingly random midsummer date, and put it under a microscope? Well, today in this explainer, we're going to do exactly that. We're transforming a single square on the calendar into this fascinating cross-section of human achievement, evolution, and conflict. We're zeroing in on exactly why July 15th matters historically. Let's dive in. To kick things off, I've got a little historical mystery for you. Think about this. What could possibly connect the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, the birth of the legendary painter Rembrandt, and, wait for it, the release of Psy's viral mega hit, Gangnam Style? Seriously, take a second. What do these vastly different milestones have in common? Got your guess? Okay, the answer is actually the number 196. Yep, every single one of those events made its debut on the 196th day of the Gregorian calendar, which is, you guessed it, July 15th. It's a date that is absolutely overflowing with world-altering moments. From the ancient world right up to the digital age, the sheer volume of history packed into the specific 24-hour cycle is just staggering. So, let's see how this all builds. Part 1. Discovering the Ancient World. Consider the sheer scale of the historical domino effect that kicks off right here. On July 15, 1799, right in the middle of Napoleon Bonaparte's Egyptian campaign, French captain Pierre-François Bouchard literally stumbles upon this inscribed artifact in the village of Rosetta. Boom, the Rosetta Stone. It fundamentally changed our entire understanding of ancient Egypt because it provided the literal key to deciphering hieroglyphics. Just think about that. One discovery on this exact day cracked open thousands of years of human history. Absolutely wild. But hey, breakthroughs on July 15th aren't just physical, they're philosophical too. Contrast unearthing the Rosetta Stone with a massive philosophical earthquake that went down on July 15th, 1838. Ralph Waldo Emerson delivers his now famous Divinity School address at Harvard, and he completely shakes things up. He's discounting biblical miracles and declaring Jesus a great man but not God. Let me tell you, the Protestant community at the time reacted with absolute outrage. It was a massive cultural shockwave, and it happened right on our day of focus. Moving into part 2, empires, borders, and battles. Maps have been completely rewritten on this exact day, but in vastly different ways. In 1099, we see the brutal violence of the First Crusade, where on July 15th, Christian soldiers finally took the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem after a really grueling siege. But then, fast forward to July 15, 1870, the borders of North America shifted massively, but this time, entirely through bureaucracy. Rupert's Land and the Northwestern Territory were officially transferred from the Hudson's Bay Company to Canada. So you've got bloodshed on one hand, paperwork on the other, both fundamentally altering the map. The sheer variety of flashpoints on this day is just incredible. Let's rapid fire through a few of these, because it's a lot. In 1240, Alexander Nevsky defeats the Swedes at the Battle of the Neva. Skip ahead to 1410. Allied Polish-Lithuanian forces win the massive Battle of Grunwald. In 1834, the dreaded Spanish Inquisition is officially disbanded after nearly 356 years of operation, finally. And get this, in 1849, the very first air raid in human history happened on July 15th, when Austria launched pilotless balloons against the city of Venice. From ancient swords to pilotless balloon bombs, this day has literally seen it all. On to part 3, the dawn of modern tech. Okay, watch this brilliant progression of human flight and connection unfold. On July 15, 1916, William Boeing incorporates Pacific Aero Products in Seattle, which, later became Boeing. Fast forward to the exact same day in 1954, and the Boeing 367-80 prototype, which was basically the foundation for the legendary 707, takes its first flight. By 1975, we are taking to the stars with the Apollo-Soyuz project. And then 2006, we went from connecting the physical world with planes and spaceships to connecting the digital world when Twitter launched. It's like human progress on hyperdrive. Let's double-click on that 1975 Apollo-Soyuz space mission for a second, because this was the space race actually finding common ground. It was the very first Soviet-United States human-crewed flight, featuring a dual launch and the actual docking of an Apollo spacecraft with a Soyuz spacecraft. I mean, right in the middle of the Cold War, rivals came together in orbit on July 15th. Plus, it was the last launch of the Saturn family of rockets, just a monumental moment for science and international relations.
Back down on Earth, July 15th also marks a really critical turning point in how we navigate the internet. In 2003, AOL Time Warner disbanded Netscape. End of an era, right? But as one digital door closed, another opened on the exact same day. The Mozilla Foundation was established, which, as we know, directly shaped the web browsers that you and I rely on every single day. Part 4. Cultural Icons and Milestones.
Guys, look at this staggering list of births for a single calendar day. On July 15th, we welcome the legendary Dutch painter Rembrandt in 1606. In 1858, the fearless English political activist and suffragist Emmeline Pankhurst was born. 1919 gave us the brilliant novelist and philosopher Iris Murdoch. And then we have the incredible singer-songwriter Linda Ronstadt in 1946, followed by Academy Award-winning actor Forrest Whitaker in 1961. This single date birthed icons spanning centuries of art, civil rights, literature, music, and film. Talk about an all-star lineup.
And for all the video game fans tuning in, July 15th is basically a sacred holiday. In 1983, the modern console wars effectively started on this exact day. Both Nintendo and Sega entered the console market by releasing their home systems in Japan on July 15th. Nintendo dropped the Famicom, while Sega released the SG-1000. So that intense rivalry that completely defined a generation of gaming, it all traces back to this one single date on the calendar.
Finally, bringing our timeline right up to the modern day, we've got some massive moments of global unity and celebration. Back in 2012, South Korean rapper Psy released Gangnam Style, which, let's be real, completely broke the internet and basically redefined global pop culture. And then on July 15th, 2018, the whole world watched as France won their second FIFA World Cup title, defeating Croatia 4-2 in just an unforgettable final match. So what does this all mean for us? We started this explainer looking at just one random day on the calendar. But as you've seen, July 15th is a day of unearthing ancient languages, shifting massive borders, launching into space, and birthing absolute legends. The scale of human achievement connected to this one date is an amazing reminder of how much history is happening around us every single day. History was made on July 15th. So the real question is, what will you do with yours? Keep learning, keep exploring, and thanks for joining me on this explainer.